Barton FM, following Barton Town. Sport on Barton FM is sponsored by Easy Buy.
Welcome to Swans Talk with me, Richard Watts. I'm joined by Barton Chairman Mark Gregory. We've just watched the last game of the season, Barton 4-1 win against Emley. What have your thoughts been of the season?
Well, I think we wanted to be higher than what we was, where we finished, but we have progressed. We've got 3 more points than last season. So it is kind of a progression. We finished obviously in the same 7th place. So generally pleased. But we did want to, climb a little bit further. Our target was obviously the promotion, top 3 or whatever it would have been. But in general, fairly pleased.
Yeah, and the 2 games a week probably took the toll. Do you think in the?
Yeah, we had a really positive start. Then the weather kicked in, Christmas time, January. Can't really use that as an excuse. Players should have stayed sharp, should have stayed fit. So can't really use that as an excuse. But I think it did hurt us a bit.
Yeah.
We lost, just lost it a bit. We had a terrible February.
Yeah.
There was key games in February which I thought we should have won. And we dropped points, and I think that kind of killed our season. But we finished strongly. Tonight was a really good performance. Last game of the season, so it proves the lads, still play for the badge. Yeah. They look really fit tonight as well.
Yeah.
Did outplay Emley, I thought. So generally happy. Yeah.
And off the field, have you made much progress with the drainage? Are you still needing planning permission and things to hold it up?
Unfortunately, yeah. We're meeting the council in a couple of weeks, I think, just to go through with things. So we're still trying. We're still trying to push the buttons. It will get done, I promise. But obviously, you've got to cross the I's and the T's, and
Is there still time to get it done for next season?
No, I didn't know. There won't be time now. We start the pitch works in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So it'll be out of action for 9 weeks. Again, we'll probably throw up to 5 figures on the pitch again.
Yeah.
Trying to, we need to build some areas up. And we know that. We know the key areas. We've had meetings with the groundsman and Lawn and Order. Big thanks to Lawn and Order, by the way, for this season again. Big thank you to you as well, Richard. Barton
thank you.
FM, it's been great, especially away games, so the fans can listen in. So we really appreciate your support.
And has the club been in good shape off the field? So you had a comedy night the other night.
Yeah, numbers were a bit down on that. It was a bit disappointing, but generally it was a very, very good night. And they were really good, so we are going to try it again. I think we had about 70 down, so so thanks for everybody who turned up and supported the club. Off the field, we're still good. We're still in a great position. I go away for a couple of weeks in a week's time after the sportsman, and then when I get back, we'll all be back to it and start the pre-season again and get ready for next season again.
I mean, there aren't many grounds you go to where it's absolutely full of advertising hoardings. You must be pretty delighted with that.
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for all these A sponsors. So a massive thank you to all our A sponsors. They're very key to the club. And I'll be sending them all an email again, like I do at the end of the season, thanking them, giving them a rundown on the season. We're hoping to bring in some more youth teams next season as well. So even below the first team, things are building, and we should have 7 or 8 youth teams next season. So plans are still in place and plans are still working.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
I'm now joined by the Barton manager, Nathan Jarman. We've got to the end of the season, a long season. What are your thoughts on the season?
It has been a long season. Obviously, with the game's been called off and stuff, people have some teams have been done for nearly 2 weeks now, and it's it's not been brilliant, but all in all, like we've looked at it, and we looked at it on Saturday. It's been another season of progression in terms of points. I know we've stayed in the same position, but yeah, I think with the playoffs coming in next season as well, that's what we're looking forward to, because there'll be something to aim for. When you get to like February time, and the team that's going to win the league looks like they're going to win it outright, and then there's nothing really to play for the teams that are maybe in 6th or 7th. Whereas now, anyone who finishes in the top 5's got a chance of going up from next season. So that'll be our aim next season, to get promoted.
And I presume sort of having to play 2 games a week for the last 2 months, that must have taken its toll. That must have really, those lost games must have cost you dear, really.
It's I mean, when I don't want to look back on it negatively, but when the game started getting called off, we was like 3rd or 4th in the league, and lucky, and then we started to drop when teams were playing more games than us, and it was like, oh, but we've got these games in hand, but it's so hard to win the games in hand, especially when, like you said, we're playing twice a week, we're playing catch up, lads are getting injured. I've been, for the last, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 weeks, begging lads to play through injuries, and I'm like, look, I know you're injured, I know you've got a niggle, I know you're struggling with this or struggling with that, but please just give me everything you can, just even if it's just for 45 minutes, and then we'll change it. And they have, and the lads have, every single one who I've asked to play through something, and it doesn't always happen. Sometimes people just say no, I'm not doing it, but everyone I've asked to play through, they've done it. But we was getting to the absolute bare bones. I mean, at one point, I think we had 8 players for a game, and we had to get three of the reserve lads, and then me, Northie, and Tom were the subs, and it was, I mean, everyone has injuries throughout the season, and it just seemed that we've had quite a lot of quite bad injuries.
When you consider that, and then these last 3 wins, Golka, Silsden, and Emily, that's pretty good going, isn't it? When you've been down to the bare bones.
Yeah, no, the lads have done really, really well, and the ones that have come in. So Cady, he's done himself no harm whatsoever. We want Cady with us next season. Same as young Matty Clayton. Kean's come in, and Kean's done well too. Kean's had a few starts, obviously a few goals. He scored the winner over at Eccleshill, and he scored a really important header against Golkar as well. So them 3 have done themselves no harm whatsoever. They're in our plans for next season. They'll be with us from the get go. We've already got the itinerary pretty much locked in for pre-season, when we're starting and when the games will be and stuff. So we're on it. We're on it for next season.
Are you anticipating making many changes to the squad?
No, I don't like it, as you've probably seen. I'm not in the business of uprooting everyone or ripping it up and starting again. I just don't feel the need to. We've kept, again, the nucleus, the core of the team together, and we'll do the same again. There might be people that would be out of our control. I'm yet to speak to the chairman. I've been, we've been trying to engineer a meeting, but I'm yet to speak to him about next season, about budgets and stuff like that. So it is in hand, and we're trying to do it as soon as possible. I mean, some teams have got a near enough 2-week head start on us already. Some of the lads are already getting calls. So it needs to be sorted soon. But that being said, I don't want to lose anyone, pretty much. If anyone wants to leave, that's their prerogative. They can go. But I just want to add a few more bits of quality. See with Fraser, see where Fraser is in terms of his recovery. because I think he could be a big player in this league for us if we have the right players around him. Experience, I wouldn't mind bringing in, some form of experience. I don't know whether it'll be whether it was a centre back or a centre mid. I don't know. But yeah, we've got irons in the fire with regards to a few players, definitely, and we're building for next season as of now.
Will you get another season out of Nathan Hottie?
Yeah.
Good.
Hottie, he hasn't committed to it or anything like that, but I've got nothing but admiration and positive words to say about him, because the way he conducts himself, the way he trains every time, he looks after himself. He plays. If I say to him, he's played 90 minutes on a Saturday, so you're gonna be all right for Tuesday. He's like, yeah, don't worry about me, gaff. I need to get another season out of him, and yeah, I hope we will. He's been brilliant, great captain in and around the lads, on the pitch, off the pitch. He's everything you want in your captain, and obviously is vastly experienced too. So yeah, I hope so. Like I said, I'm trying to get the chairman to meet me as soon as possible and discuss next season. And I've emailed him again today. We want to get it sorted, but lads now are starting to get calls and messages from other teams, and it only, if I can say, or I can't say what we can do or what we can't do, then the heads might be turned, and it'll be annoying for me. So yeah, the sooner we get it sorted with the club, the better.
And will you and Danny North be playing the odd game again next season?
Do you know what? We didn't want to this season. It was never in the plans to do it this season, but we both obviously, we still train, and although it's nothing like a match situation, we know we can still score because we do it in training regularly. If needed, I mean, I never will hang my boots up. If I can still play, I will. But we'd rather have people that we can put on rather than ourselves. Say that, I mean, we brought Trotty in the start of the season, and then Brett, and then Sam. So it's not for a want of trying, but Brett was Trotty probably wasn't fit enough. Didn't hit the ground running. Brett, it wasn't for a lack of trying with Brett, and I was happy for Brett to stay, but Brett told us that his knees had pretty much given up. It was killing him. There was swelling up every morning after training and after games and stuff. And then the real success story bringing in another striker was Sam, because Sam did really well and scored some really important goals for us. I know he got suspended, but he's that kind of player. He plays on the edge. Is an aggressive striker, and yeah, he again scored some really important goals that won us games and goals that got us points. So obviously we're happy with Ben first and foremost, with regards to goals, but then Sam as well. If anything happens to Ben or Sam, and then during a game, then we know we've got me or Northie that can come on and affect a game. Northie can affect it for probably an hour, but I've probably got a good 5 or 6 minutes in me.
And Taryn Hare packed in during the season. Is there any chance of him returning, or is that ship sailed, do you think?
I've spoken to Taz. I spoke to him. Do you know what? It was actually when we was having a bit of a crisis, when I told you we had 8 players for a game. I just said, look, you're still registered for us. Is there any way you can fill in? He's got a lot going on. He's got they were trying to move house, him and Daisy, but I think they've settled in that house now. And in the house they was originally in, but they're due to have a baby boy pretty soon. I'm not sure when exactly, but yeah, they're due to have a baby pretty soon. So he'll have a lot of change in his life. I don't know if he's in a position to play football or to do football. I know he's working on Saturdays in his trade. I wouldn't close the door on Taz because he was a big part of our successful start to the season and first like 15, 16 games, and we had probably 8 or 9 clean sheets. And he was a big part of it. He brought a lot to us, him and Charlie. So yeah, I wouldn't close the door, and I will be having a conversation with him. Yeah.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
That's it for this edition of Swans Talk. Thanks for listening.